Hey, how are you? Welcome. Listen, I'm gonna jump right in. I'm not gonna wait for too long. I'll start talking, and then that way when someone comes to watch the replay, they don't have to wait forever for me to be talking. But I wanted to share this with you while it was hot and fresh, and then I gotta run because I gotta go to choir rehearsal and I want to be early. Remember, I've been working on that. Listen, this morning I should have gotten up 10 minutes earlier and I would have had less stress in my life. And I decided I wanted to sleep for 10 more minutes, and then it was more stressful. But I made it. I made it to where I needed to be on time. But 10 minutes makes a difference. Let me tell you, today I got the opportunity to give back to some students. I taught a leadership class for one of my friends in California. She's a teacher at a community college. And I got to talk to some 8th graders, 9th graders, 10th graders, and a 12th grader today. And one of the things there were two things that came up. The first thing was they asked me to give a quote, my favorite leadership quote as a leader. I don't know if you all should know by now I'm a leader in so many ways. My favorite leadership quote is by Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N, like Nancy, Jim Rohn. And it says this: success is something that you attract by the person you become. Success is something that you attract by the person that you become. That quote has helped me because there are two words in that I pulled out for the students today as we talked about it. They knew that was the quote we were going to talk about. Well, the first word is attract. The second word is become. What are you attracting? And who are you becoming? We all have the opportunity to attract almost whatever we want, right? How do you present yourself? I was talking to a leadership friend today. We were talking about how do you present yourself? What do you look like when you meet people? I got the biggest compliment today from a gentleman I was able to serve with our leadership plan. And it didn't take very long for him to decide that he wanted to be a member. And he gave me the best compliment. He said to me, I was sold when you walked in the door. I said, please tell me how. He said, it's because of the way you walked in here. You were assertive and you were confident, and that's the kind of person I want to buy from. So it almost didn't even matter what I said. He was sold when I walked in the door. Attract. The person that success is something that you attract by the person that you become. Now, you know how I become. My first opportunity to become is through Christ, okay? That's who makes me the greatest. And then I work on myself. I'm working on my skills. I'm working on my time management. I'm working on my calendar. I'm reading books. I'm in leadership development seminars. I'm in Bible study. I'm at church. And so I'm becoming better and better and better as I continue to learn more about God, as I continue to learn more about business, more about myself. I'm in Toastmasters so I can become better. So success is something that you attract by the person you become. So I got to encourage these kids who I used to be their age and tell them, hey, you can always change your mind. You can always learn. You can always take a situation and figure out what could you have done better in it. And it was really encouraging to them, especially. And there was one lady who asked me, she says, what do you do when you're afraid of the future? She's just nervous about the future. And I said, hey, listen, one of the biggest things is that we need to think about the future and what's coming and who we want to be and maybe what we want to do. But sometimes we're so quick to be all the way in the future before we even get there. And that's why we get anxious, because we're trying to be there before we get there. And I said, so you can think about your big goal and then you break it down. And the example I gave was, let's say I wanted you to read a 300-page book. The thought of 300 pages sounds like a lot, right? You're like, 300 pages? Especially for little kids or teenagers, that's a lot. But if I told you that you could finish that book in 1 month by reading 10 pages a day in 30 days, that's a little bit easier to comprehend or to grasp, right? Those little bite-sized movements. So don't be so worried about this whole big thing when you can really break it down into smaller pieces and take it step by step. And we've talked about this before. We're all the way at step 10 when we really need to start with step 1. So I may identify all 10 first steps or all 10 steps that it takes me to get to where I need to be, but I can't do step 10 before I do step 1. And so I think that's what happens when we get anxious about the future, is that we're thinking about everything that's going to be in it before we even get there. And I wrote this down. I said, we should look forward to the future, but we shouldn't go there before we get there. You can look forward to the future, but you shouldn't go there before you get there. So you have to take the time to get there. You have to take the time to become better, to continue to grow, and to continue to learn. I read something the other day in the Bible about, those who are wise continue to learn. I've heard another scripture that says, ever learning but never coming into the knowledge. I don't want to be that person. I want to continue to learn and gather that knowledge. But I just wanted to share with you all those two things really quickly. My favorite quote, that success is something that you attract by the person you become. And don't be so anxious about the future, because it's not here yet and there's still time for you to get there. And so don't be nervous or scared. Just start taking those first steps. If you're writing a book, I was talking to a friend, if you're writing a book, the first step is to go ahead and just start writing. Get it out of your head, get it on paper, start writing that book, and start getting into the action. Because I think we're thinking, I have to finish the book. No, you got to start the book before you can finish the book, right? And so there's some practical things I wanted to share with you while they were hot, while they were fresh on my mind. I just got finished teaching the class. It was so much fun to be able to volunteer and give back to the kiddos, to the teenagers, and help them think about some things. Listen, my friend is the bomb, man. She was teaching them all kinds of stuff: emotional intelligence, time management. Let me see what else she taught them. Influence, critical thinking, communication, active listening, time management, teamwork, problem solving. These are the things that they were learning in the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 12th grade. Those are things that I didn't learn until I was in 20s, 30s, and I'm in my 40s and I'm still learning. So these kids are going to be way ahead because of her. So shout out to my friend, Miss Bell, Andrea Bell in California. I got to run, so I'll be on time for rehearsal. I will see you all later. I just thought I'd tell you while it was fresh. I hope it helps you. If it does help you, share this, please. Push the share button, leave a comment, tell me what stuck out to you the most. Give me some feedback. I want feedback. That's my friend. All right, bye, bye, bye.